Let me show you how to create a profile for a keyboard not existing in ZMK. So first it would be good to find some existing keyboard and clone its profile. So then later we can modify it. Let's see, in ZMK GitHub, we go into app, keyboards, board shields. And here there's a list of keyboards which supported by ZMK currently. There is no Pinky here. So closest one, what I think would be easiest to modify is Helix. Why? Because it has 5 rows and 14 columns, same as in Pinky4. So we will have less work on modifying those files. The DTSI file is describing mapping of individual switches and mapping of rows where they connected to MCU. And then 2 files, overlay files. Left overlay describing the columns for left half, and right overlay describing columns for right half. Okay, so now let's go back to ZMK firmware get started. And here installing ZMK. So installing this is pretty much uh, cloning the profile for existing keyboard. So prerequisite, you need to have a GitHub account, create one if you don't have it. And then we create new repository at GitHub. So here they in description they telling name enter name zmk-config. This is not necessarily, it can be any name actually. So if you have more than one keyboard, that would be useful to have different names. But well, let's do zmk-config Pinky4. Okay, public, create. Okay, now go back to that screen, and then we need to run a setup script. Can be done different ways. I will do using PowerShell. So we start PowerShell. Okay, and copy that call here, run it. Okay, yeah, it is showing list of keyboards which supported by ZMK. So here we select Helix number 30. Okay, then MCU board. So I'm using knockoff of Nice Nano V2. So this is Nice Nano V2. Keymap, yes. Username and repo name. Pinky4. Okay, repo Pinky4. Continue. Okay, and it is created. It may also ask you to authorize access to your GitHub, but because I did that already, it didn't ask me. So now if we go back to my GitHub, to that repository, now we can see the number of folders are created. And in GitHub Actions, that initial user config is building, which right now it is identical to default configuration for Helix. Okay, so here some files will need to be modified, some files not, and also some files need to be copied because in its current state, this profile it's assuming helix mapping, but we need to modify it for Pinky4. So easiest way to work with it is to clone that repository to GitHub desktop and then modify it there. So let's see. Okay, so my desktop. Okay, here what we do, we say clone repository, and you can just enter URL of that repository, or like I connected to my GitHub already, so may just select that newly created ZMK Pinky4 here and clone. Okay, it is cloned. So now we need to work with files. So we show a repository in Explorer. Okay, so now let me show how the repository looks like for some new keyboard which not existed in ZMK. For instance, here for Viterbi, under config, besides those three files, it also has boards, shields, Viterbi, and then a number of files. So then what we're gonna do in Pinky4 config, we create new folder, boards, new folder, shields, and new folder Pinky4. And here, any files can be placed by, as I said, because Helix is closest, then that's the files what we need to put in this folder, which exist in ZMK repo for Helix. So yeah, so those under Shields Helix. So we just need to download them all. Download. README probably not needed. Yeah, it's not necessary. Config. DTSI. Keymap is also not needed. We have it in our folder. Now, overlay. Overlay. Okay, so now those files, they are in download. Just open another folder, Explorer. So in downloads, those files, Yeah, those duplicated names, I will rename them. Okay, so copy them and put them in Pinky4 and rename those back to original name. Okay, so name can be anything, but just for convenience would be good to rename those to Pinky4 instead of Helix. Okay. Now, if we look through the files, they refer to old names and refer to name of keyboard as Helix everywhere, which we need to modify. Like for instance here, no, okay, no, that's not the right example. Yeah, this one. Yeah, so here helix left, helix right, and in overlay files, it's referred to DTSI. Okay, so all that can be renamed using Notepad++ all together. So all mentions of Helix in this under this repository, we will change to Pinky4. So let's do that. Rename Helix to Pinky4 in files. Okay, this is documents, GitHub, Pinky4 folder, all of them, place in files. Okay, yeah, so see here, it is replaced. Yeah, Pinky4. Okay, so now we need to modify mapping. Yeah, let's see. So that's first of all, this is DTSI file. So that's just for reference, can be ignored. But this portion, that's describing mapping of individual switches to rows and columns. So in Pinky4, we don't have that gap. So we need to put here. No, let's do two together. Okay, so that's going to be our 6, and that's 7. Okay, so now we have matrix 5 by 7, but Pinky4, it doesn't have those 3 keys. So it in bottom row it has only 4 keys, not 7 keys. So we remove those, and that's before that, I verified what bottom keys, they just connected to the column above them. So it's no any cross links here, tricks. So like 4 and 4. Okay, so this is our mapping for switches. Now for the rows, as I looked before, rows connected to pins 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's exactly what we have here. So no modification needed. That's the same as columns and rows, also matching, and that portion is not needed at all. Okay, so that's DTSI. Now let's check overlays. So left overlay, and that mapping, as I checked before for Pinky4, it starts from pin 21 and goes all the pins, 7 pins. Yeah, so that's similar to Helix as well. No need to change. And well, that's right overlay. Yeah, and right overlay, it's also correct. So here, why they are in inverse order? That's because of DTSI. Because here in mapping, we have numeration of columns from left to right, like that's our middle. And after 6, it goes 7, 8, 9, 10. But the columns connected symmetrical for both halves. Like left column is connected to top pin 21, the column 0, and for on the right, the last column 13 is connected to pin 21. This is why, because we have like uh, left to right numeration for switches, then to reflect that, we need to reverse order in overlay. That can be done differently. Say if we have left and right identical from 21 to 16, but in DTSI we will have 5, 6, then here 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, and 7, then that will be the same thing. So symmetrical mapping from both sides. So it's no matter where you change that, that worked. Like for some keyboards, uh, mapping is asymmetrical, say for Dactyl Monoform 5x6, the classic one. And then it will have like same mapping of switches in DTSI, and identical left and right overlay. Again, then just, I mean, if you program your keyboard and you see what's like your right half is flipped, then just change order here, inverse it, and then that will fix the issue. Okay, so let's see what else may need to be changed. Just need to look through the files. Okay, nothing here. List. Everything should be fine actually, because yeah, so that's for underglow, and it's all connected. Yeah, so last thing then what we need to do is to change Keymap. Yeah, so Keymap is here, and right now it is specific for Helix. So yeah, I will not show how to do that. Just copy Keymap which I created before for Pinky4, because that's too big work. So yeah, here what can do, just do it up to here. Yeah, I also have some behaviors described here. This is optional and conditional layer, but yeah, let's just copy it over. So that include I also only need behaviors, keys, BT, and outputs. Helix also has have RGB and external power. May remove that because that feature doesn't exist in Pinky. Okay, and now here, yeah, I'll just copy. Okay, so now everything is modified, and then we need to check it in, and action will build the firmware files for us. So for checking in, we go back to GitHub, and here say like Pinky4. Commit to master and push. Okay, and now go back to GitHub. Yeah, see, its updates happen in config, and in action it is building new firmware. Okay, well, we'll go back when it will be completed. There were two mistakes in my files modifications. First of all, I didn't rename those two files in config. They left them as Helix. And another one, I'm not sure if you noticed that when I rename Helix in all files, I type Pinky with IE, not with Y. And as a result, that build failed. But after I fixed those names, rename those files, and rename Pinky with IE to Pinky with Y in all files, it builds successfully. Another thing I like to pay attention to in right overlay, there is one line here for column offset, and it should match to number of columns of this keyboard. It means Helix and Pinky, they have 7, but if you modify from some other keyboard, then that's you need to check that parameter in addition to number of columns and number of rows. Left overlay don't have it, but right overlay does. Okay, so then after it is successfully built, can go by that link and download firmware file. Okay, so this copy it, and let me extract them somewhere. So I will create folder. Okay, so extract all from this file. There are two files for left half and right half firmware. So programming them is just drag and drop. So what we do, you cannot see that, but I'll explain. I connect one nice Nana, and then we need to start bootloader, which can be done by connecting ground and reset. That's maybe tricky to do, and you need to connect ground and reset like double click. As you do that, nice Nana open as a flash drive. So this one I program as left side by drag and dropping left file. It is copying and then disappear. It also may show error, but that means nothing. I mean, if it is disappear or show some error happen, it's still programmed. Now I disconnect that nice Nana, connect another one, do that double shut ground and reset. This one open and drag and drop right path. Okay, this one done too. So now I just need to use them for proper halves left and right, but if you do mistake, may just reprogram that.